Hello, everybody, and welcome to Frankenstein's podcast, where it's all about the monster. We are a creature feature podcast about monsters and why we love them. I'm one of your intrepid hosts, Joe Praska, and with me, as always, is...
your other host, Khalid Hussein.
Not as intrepid.
Why don't I get to be intrepid?
Well, you didn't take the bait and say it.
I thought it was implied. Like, doesn't intrepidness, like, kind of carry on to everybody in that instance?
One is only intrepid if one says so.
We're doing the same thing. You can only be so much more intrepid.
I don't know if you know what intrepid means.
You know what? No, you're not going to bait me into trying to define it right now. You know what? I know it enough. How about that?
Yeah. Do you know who sometimes bait other things, Khalid? Predators sometimes do.
Sure.
It's too early for the segue, but I just want to throw that one in there.
Get them while you can, I guess.
Yeah. Anyway, how's it going, Khalid?
It's going good, man. Just a pretty relaxing weekend, all things considered. I have a pretty busy week ahead of me, but got the day to kind of do my thing. Made a new song that I sent to you and a few other friends, and I'm getting some good feedback, so that's been fun.
Yes, tell us about your song a little bit.
I don't know. There's not much to tell. It's like an anthemic kind of thing. So it's just like a really catchy hook that I say a bunch over like I don't even know how to describe it, like a grimy, like awesome beat that my friend Jonah made. And it's like, I don't know, it's in the vein of like, maybe like Kanye is probably like the most like modern analog to the style, like his newer work. But I think like James Brown is a big influence on it, and a few other like older acts that just like really leaned into like, the instrumentals are great. All you need is just like some fun thing that people can keep repeating. So I did that with it.
Yeah. Mom, you said that you didn't have much to say about it. Jeez.
I guess I did.
Yeah, no, it's catchy. It's very, very catchy. I very much so enjoyed it. And Khalid, is it true that you're going under Nappy Gilmore as a recording artist?
Yeah, it is true. I don't know why you're framing it like that.
I don't know either. I just wanted to get that in the ether if anyone were to look up some of your tracks, because there is a YouTube channel.
Yeah. I've got 3 videos out. They're all really good, made by really good friends of mine who are
very
awesome.
high produced.
Yeah, very well produced. And yeah, you guys should check them out if you like my sense of humor and would like to see it applied to rap.
Yes, very good. Highly recommended. Maybe we'll post a link in the show notes.
Yeah, maybe that's on you.
Maybe, yeah. So,
anyways, what about you, Joe? What's new with you?
Thanks for catching that one, Khalid, and asking back. So
I just really wanted it to linger there for a second. That's all.
Yeah, no, it's felt.
I like a linger.
Yeah. No, I'm doing well. It's autumn in Minnesota, which is the small window of like a couple weeks where everything is just, really, really like a wonderland. The leaves are pretty and the weather's fair. So trying to soak that up as much as possible. Our new house has a bunch of sweet trees in the front. We got a couple birch trees and like I think a maple tree. And so like the colors are really cool.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. We got this like front window, and so like when the sun shines through like the red and the yellow trees, it gives us like kind of like reddish like bask that's really cool in the living room. So I'm really, really digging that for a vibe.
I mean, the pro tree lobby is having a field day right now. You were just giving them so much free advertising.
I am, yeah. And that's one of our sponsors. So,
wow, yeah, Frankenstein's podcast brought to you by trees.
By trees and SodaStream.
In a way, yeah, trees and SodaStream, yeah. Keeping the host going. So technically,
God, we got to make that official. Like I want to SodaStream. If you're listening, we've advertised a lot for you guys.
Yeah,
give us a little bit.
At least give Joe a SodaStream and then give me a newer and bigger one.
Yeah. And trees too.
Trees also give us SodaStreams. We will always find a use for them. There's no such thing as too many SodaStreams per household. Just trees, you're on watch. Like we gave you love, give it back.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, Khalid, that all being said, I got a question for you.
Hit me.
What do you call prey that can outrun its predator?
What?
Fast food.
Okay, did you come up with that or did you look it up?
No, I looked it up.
Okay. Then I don't feel as bad about being mean. What the hell was that, Joe?
And that was a segue. What are we talking about today, Khalid?
One sec. One sec. I'm just compartmentalizing this. Okay. Whew. Thanks for asking, Joe.
Yeah.
Today we are talking about the 2022 Dan Trachtenberg film Prey, written by Patrick Olson and starring Amber Midthunder. I wanted to say it
Woo.
like I was the announcer for the Chicago Bulls. Yeah, no, she's awesome. Anyways, I got a synopsis from our homeboy Google, and it goes a little something like this. A skilled Comanche warrior protects her tribe from a highly evolved alien predator that hunts humans for sport, fighting against wilderness, dangerous colonizers, and this mysterious creature to keep her people safe. Nice and neat this week.
What a monster!
They're creatures of the abstract that live off potential energy.
It's alive!
Doom. Yeah. Doom. I said doom. I should have said boom. That's what I was trying to say.
I mean, yeah, you didn't.
Yeah. No, I didn't. Starting off strong here.
So strong.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
question for you: Dan Trachtenberg, any relation to Michelle?
You know, I always wonder that, and then never bother to Google it. Let me just check real
Same.
quick.
Yeah. I was every time I think about it, I'm like, then
I mean,
never
at the
think about it
same
later.
time, like it's also just a name.
I mean, everything. All names are just names.
No, but I just mean like Trachtenberg isn't like this, like, it's not like Spielberg or something. Like, I don't know. You know what I mean?
I'm kind of, yes. It is definitely not Spielberg.
Let's see. Oh yeah, Wikipedia. His personal life is 2 lines, 3 sentences. Trachtenberg had a bar mitzvah. There's a link to it. That's the
Oh,
first
wow.
sentence.
All right.
Just that.
One. Yeah.
Second sentence on the same line. He married Priscilla Hernandez in 2011. No link, just a footnote.
All right.
Third line, or second line, third sentence, irrespective of nothing else, it just says he is not related to actress Michelle Trachtenberg.
There's a lot of people are wondering, I bet. Yeah. Wow. Not related. Okay.
Yeah, so it's come up, is what I'm trying to say.
Anyway, well, now we got that out of the way, Khalid. What did you think of the movie?
Oh, loved it. What else is there to say? It's amazing. Okay, like I was thinking about it while I was watching it because this is my second time watching it and your first time, right?
Yes.
So I got the like benefit of like knowing when the cool stuff was coming, but like it had also been just long enough that I'd forgotten a bunch of things. So I got to kind of re-experience it for the first time. And like the whole time, like I was fighting the urge to be like, this is a perfect movie, because I feel like that's just a loaded statement, just in the sense of like you can never have like the same criteria for like every movie and like come up with the quote unquote perfect movie. But like I realize that like even if I can't like bring myself to say it's the perfect movie, I am more than comfortable saying like it's the perfect like movie watching experience, if that makes sense. Like
Yeah.
I wish I'd have seen it in theaters, but like this is a movie that is so good. It doesn't matter if you watch it on the big screen or the small screen. Like if you are willing to just give it the attention it asks, like it'll pay back tenfold, a hundredfold. Like it's so good. Yeah, that's basically, I mean, the reason like I brought up Amber Midthunder in before the synopsis, which like I don't always do it. I might do it sometimes, but like more than most movies, like this movie just like leans on her so hard and she rises to the occasion, and just like I am so captivated every scene she comes in, and it's just like that kind of like once in a lifetime like star power charisma that you only see like a few other times. And it made me like really just go back to like what that feeling I had the first few times I watched Attack the Block and saw John Boyega.
Mm.
So I'll get more into it, but like yeah, like first impression or first like overall review, like just gold standard awesome movie watching experience. How about you, Joe?
I would honestly echo much of what you said, everything that you said. Honestly, I mean, I feel the same way. Watching it the first time, I felt like I was just kind of like in awe of it the whole time. I was so excited. Like I was tense when the tense moments were there. Like I was just like I was in it. Like it was very palpable. I No, I enjoyed it quite a bit. Amber Midthunder was phenomenal. I think that to your point about like as a follow up homage to the original, like it's easily like the best expansion on the original concept that we've gotten. Like, I say this as I haven't fully seen The Predator from 2018, but I don't really know if I need to make this assessment. Like, it, it just it feels like what a sequel to the original should have been, like, and I love Predator 2, don't get me wrong. Predator 2 is great in a campy way, but this is the only one that's ever like upped the stakes in a way that made the Predator feel tense again, or made the Predator feel like a big threat, like a scary thing again. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh
it's not
yeah,
it's not
yeah.
like a horror movie per se, but like it's an action sci-fi, like with horror elements, but like the threat felt real. Like, in the other movies it's a little bit like campy at that point, and
Well, I
and
think that the problem is, especially like the setting is such a big credit to a Predator
yes,
movie. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like, I mean, even by the time the first Predator, like in the timeline of like humanity, by the time the first Predator strikes or whatever, like it's already like a kind of even match in terms of like they at least have guns. Like
yeah,
they at least have like firework and or firepower and explosives, and they are as equipped as anyone could be to ideally fight a predator at that time, right?
hmm,
And so bringing it to the past, like it really strips away even that like maybe delusion of security that like goes into the previous Predator movies. But it's like the more in like further in time they've come, like the less the stakes feel worthwhile to me, at
yes, that's what
least.
I'm trying to say. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's only so much like a weapon can look like sci-fi to me compared to like the last like couple that took place in 2015 on,
Yeah. Yep.
So it's like,
Predators, The Predator, all that. Yeah.
yeah, like those all came out like post new millennium, and at that point it's like we already kind of have a bunch of sci-fi shit. So like, what is this guy bringing? It's just like it really just looks like weird like cosplay weapons versus like anything more advanced than us.
Hmm.
But that's a minor thing. Like I guess like I'm just saying like overall in general, the stakes feel so much realer when you're talking about people that have like one shot pistols that they take like 5 minutes to reload and like bows and arrows.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, and like it's a different perspective too. Like you were saying with the previous Predator, or with the original Predator, even like they have guns, and like it's this elite commando squadron that are like the best of the best, right? And it's like the fear in that one is like it's like these ultimate warriors in a sense are faced with something that's better than them, and it's like they have to like recognize that they're out of their element. Whereas in this one, like, I mean, that concept's kind of flipped. It's somebody who's trying to prove themselves, who doesn't already have that status, who's trying to be like, I'm going to be the one to do this, and like that's why it feels like conceptually like so very different and fun and fresh.
Exactly. Yeah. And I mean, I don't know, like this one just really like leans into like the like serious genre of it all in a way
Yeah.
that the first one is definitely campy in a lot of parts and intentionally so, and like all the one-liners and jokes, and this one just plays it
Yeah.
so straight, and that's a gamble, with something as
Hmm.
like absurd of a plot as like Alien comes down to do big game hunting, but like they pull it off and it feels like sincere, and like the dread on Amber Midthunder throughout is like so palpable and it's so cool to watch. I will say though, like just going back to the technology of it all, like the other thing that makes setting it in the past so much better is like I just kept thinking like you couldn't defend against this. Like there's so many things that are happening to you for the first time in your life, and like credit to Amber Midthunder as is it Naru is her name in it? Um
Yeah.
yeah, like credit to her. Like she picks up on things a lot quicker than anybody has any right to. Like I every time people died because of the Predator doing some like weird sci-fi shit, I was just like, I don't blame you. Like you had to in the span of like what 5 seconds, like understand that like a laser was pointed at you, understand what a laser is, understand that it's somehow guiding the weapon that is being aimed at you too, and that what that weapon even does. Like that's just too much. Not to mention those like weird little like claymore landmine things that just like pop up and start like like glowing and come after them. It's just like how much can you do against something that like up until a second ago you never had any like faint whisper of a like conception of.
Absolutely. And we also witnessed her like for the first time learning how to use a 19th century gun too. Like she like has somebody teach her how to do that.
And I respect it. I respect
Yeah.
that's like, what? Like she's a quick learner, so like certain things she's gonna be able to figure out. But like that ending when she's like able to utilize that laser pointer or the red dot sight from his helmet and like use it against him, like incredibly clever, kind of bullshit. I don't know what to say. Like, I'm this is me like trying so hard to find anything to critique in a movie that I love, but like kind of bullshit. I'm sorry. You just figured out how to use like the oldest gun. You're I get that the movie did the work of showing that like anytime the like bolt shot out of his wrist, it would end up eventually where the laser was pointing, and theoretically she could figure all of that out. I just don't buy it. Like, they needed to put in like way more heavy lifting and be like, this is the smartest Comanche hunter in the history of the world. Like, this is the Einstein of hunters. Like, I needed to see her do like string theory on a tree or something.
Yeah, fair. But if that's your only complaint, right?
It's my only quibble, and I easily overlook it for what was just a cherry on top of a great movie of a climax.
Yeah, and it was a sweet scene too.
It was sweet. It was super sweet. And like
all
the other stuff in it made sense. Like her, and it was cool. It's that thing of like a movie being full circle where it's like that bog that she got caught in, which I mean, thank God for Dan Trachtenberg keeping the you may like wander through the woods and like inexplicably sink at any moment trope alive. He is single-handedly shouldering that for the next generation. I know it's like a Twitter thing or whatever of like, man, movies used to make me think we'd always find quicksand, but it's true. You know, like I think about what was a quicksand movie for you? Because for me, and I'm saying quicksand, but like obviously it can be like a bog or whatever you want to call it. But for me, at least, it was Mowgli's Story, that live action Jungle Book.
Yeah.
Did you watch that?
I did not. So tell me about it. Tell me about the scene.
I mean, it's been so long since I watched it. I watched it so many times as a kid, though. But there's just like one part where like one of the like racist colonizers gets like stuck in some quicksand, and I just always remember going back to that scene. Like, yeah, man, that you got to watch out for that, bro.
Mm-hmm.
What about you?
Probably Never-Ending Story. Not really quicksand, but there's like this
bog
sinking,
or whatever.
The bog, yeah. Like that's a big one for me. That's depressing. There's like another one that I'm trying to like remember. Like I'm trying to like I remember the like scene, but I don't remember much about it. I don't know what movie it is. It's gonna come to me eventually though.
Well,
it might have been a show. I feel like it might have been like a Xena or something, where there's like just a random episode that had quicksand, and I was like, God, that's
a lot
intense.
of TV shows just randomly had quicksand. That's factual.
I'm typing in Xena quicksand. Okay, there is a Xena quicksand scene. I was right.
Okay, you were right.
I think that was it. Yeah, Xena and Gabrielle are stuck in quicksand in one. Yeah, that's probably it. Anyway, that being said, yes, you will sink in a forest.
Yeah, it'll happen. So it's good to just like keep raising awareness, and like all movies should be light PSAs about that.
But that was also a fun way to like she's sinking in the mud. Like that's a fun way to like pay homage to the Arnold in the mud scene while also not doing that same thing, you know?
Oh yeah, like I did like that actually. Now that you mentioned it,
because they do it in the other ones, don't they? Like they do the mud
like
covering, and it's like it's silly. It's a silly thing that doesn't really work. But like this one, just like okay, this is just like an homage to that. Whereas, you know,
for her to like again, like it's the benefit of the time period they're in.
Yeah,
like for her to understand what the mud would do would be to also understand what like heat vision was.
Well, she figured out that it sees it that was heat vision, like because she took the plant, right, that lowered their body temperature.
Is that what she did? Because I thought it was that she just stayed quiet until because like that dude was quiet.
No, because she gave him the plant, and she knows like already. Oh, it lowers your body temperature because if you're hot, you're more likely to die.
That's why the guy was like invisible to him.
Yeah,
I thought it was because he was quiet.
No, because she noticed that like he can't see him.
That makes sense. The heat too. Yeah. No,
yeah,
okay, I missed that, but that's cool.
So I think that was a cooler way to do that actually.
Well, yeah, that's the thing is like, it's kind of like, I feel like the predator attacking you is almost like its own, like more gruesome Men in Black test, you know, of like, it's not so much that there's one solution that you need to figure out. It's like, what solution would you do in this scenario?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah. But like, speaking of that, like, kind of like the plant and all that stuff and just like glimpses into the Comanche culture too was really cool. But like one of the scenes that really stood out to me that shows that is like when Naru and her brother are like on that like little mission to find the guy who was attacked by the cat. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
And then like when they finally find him who was attacked by the mountain lion, they like just instantly get into this like, all right, solve problem mood, and they like cut branches, make this like makeshift stretcher, just like with everything that's surrounding them, and just like everything that they need is just right there. Like
Oh,
it's just a great illustration of how like like culturally like that was just you operate with what you got.
No, I do love that like they go out of their way to show like how like they work as a community and
Yeah.
able to like keep coming back to see like the wives back at home and I do also like that like there's no like implication or anything that she's some like pioneering like first girl hunter or anything. It's not really about that. Like at least the way I read it, unless I missed it, but like I feel like it's just like yes, time to time like women will want to join the hunt and all they have to do is prove themselves like a guy.
Yeah, that's kind of what it seemed like. Yeah.
So that was
I
really
like that.
cool.
I like that a lot.
There is misogyny, obviously, from a couple of the guys. Like that,
Yeah.
that's to be expected. But like, I'm glad that it wasn't like some weird, like extra, like burden on her.
Right. No, absolutely agreed. Yeah, that was well done. I really enjoyed that. Like, it wasn't like it was there, but it wasn't like a primary focus.
Right. And I
Um,
mean, and yeah, like they were kind of just like more critiquing whether or not she was just ready in general. And like
yeah.
that was to me like a more interesting argument of like, I don't know, like she's already kind of the Batman of your group. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
I don't see any of you guys like perfecting a throwing tomahawk that'll like retract on like command.
Oh, and they like made fun of it too. I was like, "Fuck you guys."
That's yeah, what?
Yeah,
Like
that was dope.
in a world where like a lot of your new enemies are gonna have guns, like a projectile retractable tomahawk is laughable to you.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. I don't know.
but no, it was cool. I will say though, like, and I get it, like the movie needed antagonists for her like struggle to be like worth following and stuff like that. That being said, dude that's up on the branch with her just like talking shit to her while they're on mountain lion watch. What the hell is your problem?
and
Like
then gets eaten.
okay, okay. I respect that. You know what? Fine. You can not like her or think she's not ready for this in a million different ways, but like by the time it's only you two on a fucking tree branch and like you're on lion watch, like stop tearing her down. Stop. Like in what world does like making her less confident in this moment like advantageous to you? I just did not understand that, and it was like it wasn't even the kind of thing where it was like satisfying to see this like douchebag get eaten by the mountain lion. It was like, bro, like, like self interest needs to kick in at some point. Like you need to want to live in some degree. This is not making any sense. Did you like? What did you think of that,
It's a micro depiction of how misogyny drags us all down.
Joe? You may be giving it a little too much credit, but I'm willing to accept it. That was pretty good. That's a pretty good response.
Yep. Yep. Thanks, Khalid. I did want to say that there was a producer on the film. So the guy named Jane Myers. Did you hear about this?
No.
He's a member of the Comanche Nation and the Blackfeet Nation. He's a producer, and he was there. And he was kind of interview. I found a really cool interview with him in National Geographic. It's this article called "Why Sci-Fi Movie Prey Moves the Needle for Indigenous American Visibility." But he was there, and there was like this concerted effort to have like native authenticity, both like in front and behind the camera, which I thought was pretty cool. And he like himself provided like these binders of reference materials to the production team to ensure that as much accuracy as possible was portrayed in the depiction of the Comanche people of that era. So like just like the way that the society would work, the way that it looked, the way that they would use tools and materials and all that. So like there was just like a genuine effort for like authenticity there, and like not just authenticity for that sake, but like it actual like represent the people that were like on set, again like front and behind of the camera. So I thought that was pretty cool. They also he says since they were shooting on, he said, Stony Nakota land, and Midthunder is part Nakota, so they usually have somebody, if they're working on a film, have somebody like from the native community come and do like a cedar ceremony and bless everything. But because they actually had so many indigenous people on the cast, the First Nation people too, they actually sent out 2 pipe carriers and 2 smudge people to have a pipe ceremony as well. So they had all this like really cool like native like cultural significance that was going on behind the scenes too, which I thought was kind of cool to see.
Dude, that's awesome. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I mean, I've definitely lately been like way more aware of
Oh yeah.
indigenous productions and just really I'm I'm in admiration of what they've done in terms of representation on TV and films now. Like Prey is just like another great example. I know I've talked about Reservation Dogs in the past,
Mm-hmm.
but there's also a couple Canadian productions, Letterkenny and Shoresy, that heavily feature Native American or Indigenous. Well, I guess they'd be Indigenous
First
there.
Nations
First
up there.
Nations
Yep.
people in their cast and their staff, and it's just so cool to see, and really just makes me optimistic about like what the next like wave of like entertainment is going to look like now. It's just like so much more diverse, and like everybody's just swinging for the fences. It seems like this is just like a great time to be a viewer of television
Right.
and
Yeah.
film.
More perspectives, more creatives. Like, yeah, that's what you want.
It's exactly what you want. And it's like everything that like people have been screaming about for decades, it's finally happening. And it's like, surprise, surprise. Different outlooks have like really compelling stories too.
Yeah. Another thing I kind of wanted to ask you about, one I saw, like, I feel like there were a lot of parallel scenes between the Predator and Naru. So like there was one that struck out to me was there was a scene where they were both tending to wounds on their legs. Do you remember that part?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so like what I was wondering is like, so we see the Predator like get dropped off by a ship. Like, is it? This might be obvious to you. Is it implied that he's kind of going through the same ritual that Naru keeps trying to do herself? Like the idea of like hunting something that's hunting you. Like, is it to imply that that he's basically going through some sort of like a maturity ritual as like a predator too? You think like that's why they draw those parallels between each other, or are they just trying to like tie into the theme of like prey predator, like the mixing of that in just general?
Well, I think it's supposed to speak to the ethics of it all, like
Mm-hmm.
especially with that very first Predator with Arnold and everything, like it's so clearly and heavily implied like, oh, what this thing is doing is screwed up. Like it's coming
Yeah,
down here and being sadistic and da 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 da. And this movie really interrogates that, and it like looks to our own like customs and rituals, and it's like for her like this like she literally has to do what he has to do as a rite of passage, whether or not
mm-hmm.
he's doing it like for funsies or to like prove something to his space buddies. Like it's not ethically that much further off than like a lion or a bear that has to like give up its life so that you can say you're a capital H hunter or whatever the hell.
Yeah,
So I think that's how I took it. But I mean, there is something to what you're saying about it maybe being a rite of passage for that predator too.
for
Um,
sure.
it is vague though what the assignment is, because like he's just kind of killing whatever.
Well,
And
it seems like intentional though. Like he's definitely like killing off like other kinds of predators. Like he's working his way up. Like it was a snake and then a wolf, right?
right, but like by the time it gets to her in that final battle, he's killed tens of humans.
True,
So
true.
my question is like what's like the checklist he's going off of, like is there a world where he kills
Yeah.
her and then just like makes his way through like the greater like Comanche area and then further onward until he's like just like slaughtered his way onto a boat? I just you know
Just
what I
Earth,
mean?
all
Like
of Earth.
yeah, like he like starts like finding like whales and like bigger things to kill. That to me was unclear, because like if it is a rite of passage, then like what is the objective?
Yeah. And maybe it's better that we don't fully know that kind of stuff, though. Because
I don't know if I
that would muddy it.
I don't know if I brought the theory up in the original Predator episode we did, but I choose to believe that he's just like a really rich like upper management type on his planet, and this is
Yeah,
just like he's like a Donald Trump Jr. type, where like he just like goes to like an exotic place and like kills big game for fun.
yeah. You did bring that up before, yeah. And then like you implied that there was like people who were opposed to that probably on the Predator planet and all that.
Yeah, exactly. Like he'd be like our equivalent of like a frat bro wearing like a "Suns Out, Guns Out" shirt in like
Yeah,
Zimbabwe or something.
the Yautja, right? They're not a monoculture. They have different values.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I'm
but
into that. I'm into that.
but yeah, no, there's. I mean, that's what's nice about the this movie and the original one at least. I can't speak to the sequels because I've only seen a couple and forget most of it. But yeah, I think that's cool about it is that it's like really open to interpretation what the motives are and
Hmm.
where that creature's head is. Like
Yeah,
for
I
all we
like
know, it
your
could be like a religious thing.
absolutely. That's a good point. I like your take about the like the ethics of it, like being mirrored. Like it's interesting, like in a sense how this movie does strive a little bit to bring like the Predator and Naru like on level with each other in a little bit. Like
Well, yeah, I
there's
mean,
that
it's like,
element of like who has the upper hand at different times, whereas like in the original it's very much the whole point is like to show how outmatched Arnold and like the Commando guys are until he has to like get scrappy at the end, you know.
no, yeah, I mean, what this movie has working for it is that moral relativism,
Hmm.
and they do a really good job of like highlighting it throughout. Like, probably one of my favorite moments this time around was the shot of, and it's heavy handed, but it works for me. It's the ant crawling on the predator's invisible leg, and then a rat grabs the ant, and then a snake grabs the rat, and then the predator stabs the snake.
Yep.
Like, that's just like a really cool, succinct way of saying like ours is not to like wonder why like some things get to kill other things. Like ours is to just like understand like that's the nature of the world.
Hmm.
So like that's stuff like that was really cool, and like it even worked again with the bunny and the wolf.
And the wolf, yeah.
My favorite part was like after the wolf just like gets his shit rocked, like they do like a cut to the rabbit, and he's just like
Yeah.
staring at the camera, and like in my mind I immediately thought like, well, that just happened. Like if the rabbit just like said that, I would like then I would say it's a perfect movie.
That's that
That's
would
the
put it at
only
edge for
thing
you. Yep.
holding it back. But
Well,
yeah,
that just
seriously.
happened.
Yeah, and then like it's immediately getting chased by Naru, and it's just like yeah, it's like I just want to watch like the movie about the exasperated rabbit. That's just like, oh, let me guess, she's right behind me.
Precocious rabbit.
Yeah, and he's just like he's not really terrified for his life so much as just like, come on, again with this?
He's exasperated.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, I love it. Yeah, I'd watch that movie.
Danny Trachty. That one's a freebie, man. Go
Yeah, maybe that's in
crazy.
the director's cut. Who
Yeah.
knows?
Let me know,
Yeah.
D Trachty.
Is there any other like things about the movie itself you want to talk in before we go into the monster here?
Well, okay. So for me, the big thing for me was like, I judge a movie's like cinematography, like not so much by like color or composition usually. Like I just don't get into the weeds like that. For me, it's as simple as like, okay, how many scenes does this movie have that I would want to just like make a poster in my room? And this movie has like freaking 10 at least. So many just cool moments caught on camera that were amazing. Like the obviously like when with the tomahawk and her dog when they take him out, that's amazing. But then there's also when her brother comes in on that horse and leaps down on him and just like stabs the predator through the chest or whatever. That was so sick. And I do want to say, yeah, I love that like even though like the other guys were kind of like arrogant blowhards with her and like the fighting troop, like they threw down, you know what I mean? Like once they realized whatever it was that was coming at them and had like a gauge of size, like they put up a good fight. It was cool to see. But as far as like cinematography and stuff, and the thing I was getting at, I wanted to ask you, like, what was your favorite like scene visually?
That's a great question, Khalid. And as for me asking the question about anything else you want to talk to, my other note that I wanted to talk to was cinematography as well.
Oh, nice. Well,
Yeah.
same wavelength.
There's a great interview that I found with the cinematographer, Jeff Cutter. And I was like just like scrolling through the images, the stills that they took in this article. And like a couple of the ones that you actually mentioned are in this as like a still, like him jumping off the horse.
That's
Yeah,
iconic.
the axe. Yeah, it's so
Oh, the
cool.
mountain lion and her on the opposing branches.
Yep, that was so cool. Oh man, I also love like the use of silhouettes though. Like they do a lot of like silhouetting, and that's like really cool to see like the predator fighting the Frenchman in like the fog.
Well,
That was really cool.
he's really good at lighting like darker scenes and nighttime
Yeah.
scenes in a
Like
way
and
that
making the darker scenes feel like natural, like not like inauthentic, like fake light. You know what I mean? Like it feels
we'll
like okay, like
probably
you're right in there.
we'll probably eventually talk about it on the pod, but like his other movie 10 Cloverfield Lane, like that's also like almost entirely like darkly lit, and it's still
Hmm.
just like so clear to see things, and it's like just it's picturesque, like it's almost
Yeah.
painterly the way that he has his night scenes lit, and it's so great to see. But yeah, like the smoky battle with the Frenchman is like such a cool visual one.
Oh, yeah, the smoky battle is so cool. I love that. I also love like, and they mentioned this article too. There's like a lot of wide shots and wide angles that kind of feel like very Western esque. and
Yes, those
it's
like
just very,
landscape shots.
yeah, it's just
Oh
very
man,
pretty to look at. Like, you're
those
right.
were
Like,
every time I saw that, I was like, I wish this was in a theater somewhere.
yeah, it's kind of a bummer that it wasn't in the theater. Like, I know that's not the be all end all of movie experiences, but like, there's just something like, oh, it would
Christopher
have been,
Nolan is on his way to you right now,
oh, I know.
Joe.
I
He's got
knew I was going to
words.
be an instant target from Nolan here,
Yeah, he's
but
coming.
I will stand by that. Like, you can watch a movie wherever you want to watch it as long as you're happy and
He
entertained.
has a working bat jet, so he'll be there soon.
Yeah, I await his arrival.
Yeah, he got that in lieu of payment for the third one.
Yeah. But I do think, like, for me, I would have really enjoyed seeing this on like a huge screen. I think it'd have been cool to just like take in those shots.
Oh my god, yeah, it's everything
Yeah.
Nicole Kidman's always going on about. It's an
For those who don't know,
experience.
it's the Nicole Kidman AMC ad, right?
For those who don't know, that's our new national anthem, Joe. What are you talking about?
There might be a few out
Kids
there.
say it before class, Joe.
Yeah, fair enough.
Don't know about it. I'm
Don't know.
sorry, guys. I don't know who he thinks he's talking to.
All right, fair enough. You can at Khalid about that one.
At me about how mad you are at Joe, maybe.
Fair, yeah, just as long as you at Khalid.
But yeah, like I think for me, probably the most like visually like stunning or arresting scene would probably have to be the bear attack.
Oh yes, the bear attack, and that like, and just it's also just like an expertly like crafted tense scene. Like, you're
It's
you're
so
just so
tense.
like Nicole and I were watching it, and I looked over after the whole bear scene. I was like, "Did you breathe during that?" And she's like, "Nope."
No, that like they made the bear like kind of like emaciated too. Like it's not
Yeah,
like fluffy fat bear either. Like you're just basically seeing like this like giant like wiry hairy animal just like
yeah,
running full speed at you and your dog. It is
yeah.
it is heavy and like oh my god, like when he's getting into it with the predator like that and like this is like her first like visual confirmation. It's all just done so well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, super cool.
And it's like you'd never lose sense of any of it, you know? Like I very clearly track the progression of like she's on the cliff, he's down by the bear's down by the water. The bear comes up and then gets distracted by the dog, goes out like it's like a lot of fast cutting and a lot of moving, and yet like it's done in such an elegant and like visually like concise and clear way that like I'm with it right up until that like she's trapped in that little like beaver den.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's a really good point. Like, sometimes in action scenes, especially when there's lots of cutting, like, it's easy to get lost and be like, "All right, well, I don't know what's going on for like half of this," but you
Well,
get
it's
the
just like
gist
the
of it.
problem is like sometimes like directors will just like they'll misunderstand like coverage for being the same thing as like covering yourself on anything that you could possibly need. But it's like the truth is like especially in these action stuff like scenes like you really want to be able to understand like if this happens and this happens and like follow that track, and that doesn't work if an editor just has to pull from like one shot just because it happens to be an angle that most like relates to the last shot. And so like the most interesting thing was uh I went to I can't remember what it was, but I think it was like some kind of like a director Q&A thing, but I don't think it was the Daniels that were speaking. It was somebody else. And they were explaining that the way that they cut action scenes or the way they shoot action scenes, I should say, is they shoot it chronologically because that's how Quentin Tarantino shoots it. So even though like it might be less clear or less like time saving to do it that way, because like realistically, it's like if you have so many shots at this angle, you should just shoot them all out of order. He's like, no, a fight scene's like a dance scene. You have to shoot everything as it's supposed to happen in the edit. And like stuff like that is like super fascinating to me because it's like, yeah, those action scenes are never lost on me.
Wait, who are you saying this was an interview
So the
with?
Daniels, like who did like everything
Oh,
everywhere
the
all at
Daniels.
once.
Yep, yep.
Yeah. So like for the fight scenes in that's what they did is they shot it all like all the action scenes chronologically, even though it meant like having to like break down, reset, like similar angles because they wanted to make sure that like they had everything shot in the order that it was going to be edited.
Oh, fascinating. I like
Sorry,
that.
that might have been way too inside baseball.
No, that's really interesting. I don't think about the only thing I really think about with like lots of edits and like cuts and like fight scenes and action scenes it to me, and I don't know how true this is. Always, it makes me feel like it's compensating for like a lack of choreography.
Mm.
You know,
I mean,
I don't know if that's true, but it just feels like it's like, oh, they're not really like believing. They don't want us to see like the entirety of this. So there's like cuts to this angle and this angle and this angle. So it
well,
feels like it's happening, but you're not seeing it entirely.
Well, it's also that, and then it's like, especially like some of these movies now, so much of a fight scene is like what VFX eventually is going to do to it.
That's true. Yeah.
You know, like there's only so much like you can direct it like Tarantino when like a guy has to fly and kickflip off a wall, you know.
Yeah, and that's hard for like somebody like a cinematographer or like the crew just filming, right? To be like, okay, this is where the VFX is going to plug in, and then for the VFX worker to be like, well, this is the only place I can plug in now, you know?
Right. It's really is just as simple as like too many cooks kind of a thing, you know?
Yeah,
Like
that's a good
if
point.
it can't like the more people that have to get in there and like offer input on how to execute something, like the less like singular the vision is, which makes it harder to execute.
Yeah, that's kind of what we talked about in the Moon Knight episode a few episodes back. How they had to have like the stand-in for the Khonshu creature to like for those
Mm.
action scenes and stuff. It's interesting to think about how they compensate for that now. But that being said, this movie didn't really have to do it because they seem to have the grasp of it, and it came off really well.
Oh, it was great, and I loved like her physicalities. Like, there's that
Oh
part.
yeah.
It's in the bear attack part, I think, where she's like jumping down that cliff or whatever, and she does that little like Power Ranger kickflip off the wall. Oh,
Hmm.
and it was just like I
Yeah,
don't
that
know
was
how
cool.
much of that is her versus like her stunt person or whatever, but all credit to them. Like the physicality really just like sold it for me.
Even just throwing the like the axe like into the tree and then
Oh,
calling
that
it
was
back, like
so
just that.
cool. That
Yeah,
was so cool. Like right up there with so many other training montages.
so cool.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's just awesome. Um, I do like watching it though made me just like really think like I feel like the next thing the Predator should do is like start just like jumping into other franchises. I know they did it with the Aliens one, but I'm not counting that. I think that
I mean,
my
it's a big crossover.
I don't
One of the
care. I
biggest.
just don't care. I don't count it. It's not the same thing. It needs to jump into worlds where like the people are equipped to handle them. It's not like Freddy versus Jason where the point is it's a bunch of hapless idiots, you know. So
Right.
for me, the two big franchises I want to see the Predator attack next is the Mortal Kombat franchise.
That'd be cool.
And yeah, it'd be sick. Can you imagine it? Like it's already like an interdimensional competition, and then like all of a sudden, like a spaceship just falls out of the sky, and it's like, huh, guess my invite got lost in the mail. I assume that's what the Predator sounds like. And now he's just like one by one picking off these like super gods. And then the other one, the Mad Max world. He has to do it.
Oh yeah, that would
You
be
know,
cool. Yeah.
it's the story's already right there. Max being the wanderer or whatever ends up in like another like random like town. Boom, starts hearing about like there's like some new like sand monster that's going around killing people, and he's like, oh, it's probably just like a bear or something like that. Like, and then he like investigates it, and obviously don't do it exactly like Prey, but like some like Prey esque. You know, like that's the whole
Yep.
point. Is like Prey got the formula right. Like put the Predator in like cool, crazy worlds that are already fascinating on their own, and now they also have to deal with this like alien super hunter.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's actually two really good examples. Wow.
Right? Like
Yeah.
those like that's the kind of franchises it needs to meld with. Like that's where the fun comes from. Not just like another like sci-fi like wet
Like a
monster.
versus type thing. Yeah. Not you're
Yeah.
not talking about like a monster versus thing. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it should be like Predator versus Max.
Yeah. No, I could get behind that for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, I did have when I was a kid a Predator versus Batman comic book.
I think I have an Alien versus Batman comic book somewhere.
There's an Alien versus Batman too. Yeah,
Or
Batman versus a lot of
Alien versus
people.
did I say Alien versus comic book?
You said Alien versus Batman comic book. You said it right the first time.
Oh, I did say it right. Okay, thank God. Whew. Can you imagine?
I can imagine. Yeah.
God, that would be the end of me. Anyways.
There was a short film. Oh, do you remember this? Oh,
What?
I watched this. This was so cool back in the day. When like fan films were kind of first well, I guess fan films were around for a while, but fan
Are you
films were
asking me
getting
if I
bigger.
remember a fan film you watched?
No, just like this was a big one. It's called Batman Dead End. Do you remember this at all?
No.
But the idea was like Batman catches the Joker in an alley and then has to end up fighting a xenomorph and the Predator.
Oh, he's dead, right? He's just dead.
No, he wins. I think I don't remember, but it was like a short film. Uh, it was cool. I remember I like watched it a ton when I was younger. It's super cool. I don't know if it would hold up, but I thought it was cool.
Well, to answer your question, I do not remember that.
I'll send it to you later.
Okay.
It's like 8 minutes. Like
Oh,
the draw of it was like the suits and the costuming and the choreography were really cool.
wow. Wow. Pretty bold of you to think I'll watch an 8-minute video just on your word, but
Wow.
I'm just
Thought
kidding.
we were We're closer than that.
No, okay, but that's the thing is like this is like your 1 8-minute video this year that you can show me. Then
Okay,
like
so
the
it's my
trust between people is like if you're gonna send me this thing that's that long that like you're not gonna keep doing it.
fair. Okay, I can get behind that. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
in. All right, I'll send it to you.
All right, I'm saving mine.
Shall we monster?
What's monster?
Cool. So in this one, in Prey, it's I think behind the scenes and in generally, it's the predator is referred to the feral predator, is implied to be the first Yautja to visit Earth. The less equipped feral may be considered like a young blood because its advanced weaponry must be earned through successful hunts, according to some Yautja culture stuff in like novels and EU stuff. Anyway, the concept artist and creature designer, a guy by the name of Michael Vincent. He had like a little tweet thread about designing this one, and I pulled a couple quotes that I thought were interesting. So he says, quote, genetic isolation with different environmental pressures yields a variant of Yautja. He says adapted to a drier climate, thinner, waxier dreads, thicker oral tissue, and scalier skin for moisture retention. Favors crushing bite and for a different diet. And he also says the bone mask is a special cultural significance to the feral subspecies. So he basically created like this brand new like subspecies class or culture of the predators for this. So it's kind of cool.
Nice.
Yeah. So I thought that was interesting. And that's just like in universe and canon, but behind the scenes, like there was, I'm sure you've heard about this, there was like a concerted effort to like this predator needs to look and feel different than the ones we've seen before.
I mean, it seemed like I definitely picked up on it, like looking thinner and I guess just like more humanoid.
Yeah, well they wanted it to work with the actor that they got to do it, is a guy named Dane DeLiegro. He's Italian, but he's a former pro basketball player. He's like 6'9".
Oh
Um,
wow.
yeah, big guy, but he's like thinner. Whereas I think in the original Predator, it was like a tall, like a little bit more buff guy. So
Yeah,
they
he's
they
beefier, but he has to be. He's going up
yeah,
against Arnold.
exactly, yeah, exactly. So there's it's a different vibe that they're going for. So like I got so Dan Trachtenberg, he actually teamed with Predator Effects veterans. The names Alec Gillis and Tom Woodruff Jr., who actually worked on the original movie, to come work on this one too. They both worked on the original Predator. They did some of the Alien versus Predator movies, and they worked on the Shane Black one too. So they've done a lot of work with the Predator costumes and the designs. Um, but Trachtenberg said, he said, I don't want this to look like all those other Predators. And then they had different ideas for the ways they could take this, and there was an original design where they wanted it to look more Neanderthal-like, and they all decided like, nah, that looks silly. So they end up going back to the drawing board and making what we have now, which looks a little bit more primitive than the ones we've seen in the future, but still like lean and scary, and like evolved in its own right. Something that still like
I mean,
has
it's clearly
flies
only
spaceships
primitive.
and stuff.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. Like
Yeah,
it's only
yeah,
primitive because like he's only like bringing so much gear. Like I feel like if he wanted to, he could have like a full on
yeah.
like armor.
Yeah. So, and one of the quotes they said they talked about, and like, and this is again working with like the native consultants on this, like how could they like create something that could be like a basis for like a legend or like some sort of spirit or some sort of monster that would be like talked about in like mythology.
Hmm.
And so they kind of wanted to like go with that kind of the attributes. So
Nice.
yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. And practically, it's all like the suit, you know, like they pretty much did all that stuff, and they suits, prosthetic makeup changed since the original movies. So they have like motors to like make the eyes are a little bit wider, because in the original, like the eyes lined up so the actor could see through. So they actually had to have a different area where the actor could see, and the eyes were in a different location than his actual head.
Do we know that the predator is male? Like, I mean, do they
Mm,
ever in any of the movies like address the gender of it? Because like, it's kind of fun to imagine that this is actually like just like a female predator that's just like wrecking everybody.
that could be cool. Did you hear about that? I don't know if you read about. There's like a little bit of a mini controversy with this movie, that some guy who made like a fan film like in 2019 about like a native woman going up against a predator. It's like they stole my idea.
I mean, the thing about it is like there is a lot of like credit to parallel thought. You know what I mean? There's only
I felt
so
the
many.
same way because it sounds like this was like being developed in 2018. So like probably it's like almost like right around the same time they came up with like theoretically someone could have
Right.
seen that and
And
been like, oh,
also,
that's a great idea. But I
at
don't
the
know.
end of the day, like you're talking about like IP that is like owned or licensed by somebody. So like you could have written it first, but like yours is fan fiction unless they green light it. I don't know what to tell you,
Right.
you know? Like I have a lot of ideas for like franchises that I would love to see made, and like would it suck if like they maybe heard my idea or somebody had like a similar enough idea and made mine moot? Sure, but it was never my full idea to begin with. Like everything was like on the bedrock of something I don't own.
Right. And I know that's like why like people I've heard like actors and creatives don't take like pitches like just like unsolicited pitches because it's like if if someone said like, oh, I sent this to you, even if you didn't look at it, but like you did something somewhat similar, like you have like a potential like legal battle that could just come up.
Oh yeah, like if there's any kind of paper trail that like you got something and then you come up with something similar, like why would you
Yeah.
open yourself up to that?
Exactly. But I say that to say that the original fan film that this guy had done is it's about like this woman like native warrior who was actually fighting two female predators. And I remember that being like I was just looking up some stills like that was kind of a cool cuz some cool costuming choices for that guy did.
Nice.
Yeah. But anyway, I don't know. This in the real like canon of it, like theoretically, yeah, sure, it could be a female.
Yeah, I don't know.
I
I
don't know.
mean,
We
something to
don't hear
think
it
about.
talk.
I
I
mean,
don't know.
yeah, it doesn't really. I don't know if it adds or detracts from anything. Like if it wasn't actually like explicit in the movie,
Yeah. So,
like it's
yeah,
either a
exactly.
mean dude or a mean lady.
Right. I'm trying to think if there's any other like cool bits that I took. There's an article that I found that has a whole bunch of stuff like the behind the scenes. It's called "How Prey Forged a New Look for an Iconic Sci-Fi Creature," and it's all about how they like tweaked the designs and kind of like made it work for this new actor and like his body type. They wanted the Predator to feel a little bit more athletic rather than a little more bulky. Which I think definitely came out. They did make the suit out of the same material as the original. It's like a foam latex that's a little more stretchy. Um, they actually, but with like modern technology, they're able to do a little bit more. They were able to take like 3D scans of like the actor to like actually sculpt things that fit around him specifically, and to make sure it was like a precise fit. So it's like easier to move around and do more like athletic kind of stuff.
I mean, it's funny to imagine like that the predators are following our like workout trends in every
Yeah.
generation. You know what I mean? Like that's why like the first one's beefier. Is like it's like
Yep.
they're just like reading the same like men's health magazines. And so like
Yeah.
for this one they're just like, oh yeah, everybody's like nice and lean. They're taut.
They're taught. Yeah.
We gotta get taut, boys. So it's the only way this hunting them will be fair. It's the only way hunting down these people with sci-fi weapons will be even.
Yeah.
We must be as taut or as beefy as they are at any generation, at any time.
You made him like kind of British.
I was going for like a Rip Torn thing, like if they have like a Rip Torn predator.
Oh, interesting that came off
Yeah,
to me as British.
I mean, check your biases.
I guess, yeah. Is Rip Torn's not British, is he?
I don't think so.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's something no one will ever know.
No way to know. Yeah.
No way to know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, the only other interesting bit I thought was about this one is it's still very much so almost entirely practical effects in the suit. However, there is a bit of enhanced CGI, like with the mouth area with like the mandibles. So I thought that's kind of interesting. They actually did build all that like practically, but I think for the final product, they ended up going with some like CGI, like like mended renderings, like to smooth it out, if that makes sense.
Nice. That's pretty cool.
Yes, but so like it is cool to see like like the predator's face in this one, like the feral predator, I guess you could say, does look quite a bit different, and I like
I
the
liked it.
updated design.
It was like
Yeah,
a life of its own. It kind of reminded me of Squidward, or not Squidward, Zoidberg. Zoidberg.
Zoidberg. Yeah,
Yeah, like, woo!
it's like, okay, do Zoidberg again.
Woo! Yeah, just like whatever he does with his little like I don't know, are they mandibles? I don't know. But
I like tentacles, right?
yeah, I don't know. It's the
I
kind of
don't know.
thing where it's just like Like if it was like the predator at a zoo or whatever, like you would like dare your like sibling or cousin to like touch the like little mandible. Yeah, and then you'd be like, "Yeah, I touched it. Ew,
Yeah.
it's sticky."
It's our mini episode on Zoidberg there.
Oh man, no, but yeah, the mouth. I did notice it was like way more pronounced and stuff. And I mean, yeah, I guess I didn't think about it too hard, but in my mind, I probably assumed it was like at least partially CG, just because it was moving so freely.
Yeah, it definitely was, but it's still cool. I thought it worked really well overall.
Yeah,
Yeah. Anyway, Khalid, speaking of mouths,
yeah,
bears tend to have mouths.
sure do.
Anyway, that's a segue to the 4 bears test.
Thanks, Joe.
Yeah.
The 4 bears test is what it sounds like if you have never heard it before. Also, it's kind of not what it sounds like. I don't think you would get it just based off the name. Basically, it is a dumb little thought experiment I ask every episode about the monster that we're talking about.
Do
What would happen?
you write this down, Khalid? Like when
Clearly
you
not,
write it,
Joe.
like is this
Clearly
like
not. You're
I was always wondering, like, it's some of the words that you say are the same, but not always.
Yeah, Joe, this is off the top. I'm freestyling every time. That's why
Every
it
time.
sounds like bad.
It sounds great. Anyway, dumb little thought experiment. Go on.
Dumb little thought experiment where I ask what would happen if we took out the monster that we're talking about and replaced it with 4 bears. Is it the same movie, different how? So yeah, with that all being said, do 4 bears equal 1 predator in the movie Prey? This is a tough one because, like, I was excited when I started the movie because I remembered the bear attack, obviously, and I was going to cite that. And it was going to be such a clear, like, oh, yeah, it totally passes. Because, like, I know that I failed it, or I'm like 90% sure I failed it when we did the original Predator movie.
Mm-hmm.
And my rationale there was that these guys are kind of the same as the characters in Carpenter's The Thing, where like these are the most over-prepared guys when it comes to like some kind of like thing coming after them. That's why Predator works and why they get like just laid to waste. But a big part of them being over-prepared is like they have like rail guns and like explosives and stuff like that. Whereas the majority of the characters in Prey have like none of that. They have very primitive weapons and they're pretty much just like in over their heads. Like as I cited before, the technology is all beyond foreign to them. It's like inconceivable. So I was ready to come in here and be like, oh yeah, like if you replace the 4 bears in this, or if you replace the monster with 4 bears in this, like it's an easy pass. Like it's the same threat. But like, even though they're more unprepared than the original cast had to be in the first Predator against the monster in question, like I don't think that makes them any more like ill-equipped overall, if that makes sense, Joe. Like
Yeah.
basically what I'm saying is like just because like they have no way of like stopping the Predator in most instances, and it was like a lot of luck and just outsized ingenuity on Naru's part, like I still don't think like 4 bears would be a lot for them. Like we saw what 1 bear did, and like it would probably have taken a whole hunting party to take it down. But like I do think like if the 4 bears like had like some like plan to like attack all of these people at once, it wouldn't be that successful. They just that's what they're prepared for. Like that's their everyday life is like, oh, a bear might attack you. So like why is it so crazy to think 3 more would join it? So I think it's still a fail in like in terms of like the characters that we've been introduced to and like what they're used to. I don't think it works still. I was hoping. I was like, yeah, of course, 4 bears. They're just like they got nothing. They got sticks and arrows, but like that was a real thing in the past. Like they actually had to pass the 4 bears test a couple of times, I'm sure. You know?
Yeah.
It's like some of them had to pass, you know. So it's like
yeah, probably.
yeah. So I think it's a fail. What about you?
No, I mean this is your thing, Khalid. So yeah, I'm with you.
Are you just completely disowning this thing now? Like you don't have nothing to add?
The one thing I will add, I'm giving you a little lifeline here. I'll add that I do think that this was probably one of the most interesting forebears thought experiments in a while. I think the wrestling with it and like making it work and making it not work like is probably one of the more interesting ones, because there's a lot of monsters. Like I know we do this silly test all the time because it's funny for me to make you like figure out how to make it work, but this one felt like kind of going back to like some of the earlier movies we did where it's like it kind of like makes you think about the movie a different way, you know?
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it really, for me at least, it made me like kind of like check my assumptions at the door of like what's like I don't know like whether or not like being primitive or like a predecessor to other people automatically puts you at a disadvantage. You know, it's
Mm-hmm.
like if anything, like these guys are more equipped to take out like animals that are bigger than them because that's what their training was literally built around. You know, like their quinceanera is fighting lions and bears. You know,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
like that's how you like establish yourself, you know. So at that point, I sure would a rail gun help your cause? Yeah, of course. Do you necessarily need it? No.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it felt like a real learning moment for me when I realized like it's okay that this also fails the four bears test.
Yeah,
Is
I'm
a
glad
big
we're all learning still.
yeah, it's a big growth opportunity.
Yeah, it's interesting. There was a movie though set in this like the 1800s, right, with like a bear and
Oh, are you
Revenant,
talking
the
about the
Revenant.
yeah, the
Yeah,
Revenant? Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So they kind of, I mean, they've done a movie similar.
Oh my god, that movie would definitely pass the four bears test.
I mean, it's one bear, right?
Yeah, that's just yeah. One bear definitely effed him up.
Yeah.
That was,
Um.
that was gnarly.
Yeah.
I can still hear like the breathing sounds when the bear is like chewing on him.
Speaking of breathing sounds when you're chewing on someone, Khalid.
Ew, Joe, you're better than that.
No, I'm not. Would you fight or would you flirt with the feral predator?
I really can't remember what I said in the first one, but I'm gonna have to say fight for this one
No,
because
you said flirt originally.
did I
I
say
think.
flirt
I think
originally?
you did, because you're like, if these commando guys can't fight it, like what chance do I have?
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I think it's also just because like there's no like camaraderie or love with the commando guys, so like
Yeah.
I don't really feel like the compulsion of like, oh yeah, we got each other's back so much as like you guys are all guns for hire and would like just as gladly shoot me if someone paid you. So like
Hmm.
I think that's the big difference for me is like there's actual like community with the indigenous
You have something to
tribe.
fight for.
Exactly. I have something to fight
Ah.
for. They seem like real cool bros too. You know, like some of them definitely got like women problems they got to work through. But I mean, that's been true of
Mm-hmm.
every generation. Like, you know, raise your sons better. That's all I'm saying. Um, but yeah, no, I don't know. Like they just seem like a fun hang, and it's like this is all like I've cited this already, but this is already such a hostile environment. You know what I mean? Like what kind of a guy am I in that world to like try to like propose to the first monster that wants to kill me? Like that's I'd be married to like five bears already, you know? I just that can't be my solution in that world. It really is just like a yep, get a blade and see how long you last. So yeah, I gotta fight that guy for my familia and for myself.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works. I like it. Community.
Yeah.
Something to fight for.
Exactly.
Yeah. One thing that this movie did not have that the original did, though, was that the epic handshake.
Yeah, there was no epic handshake, but they did
Hmm.
have the epic bear trap scene with her telling the beaver story.
That was pretty dope. Yeah,
That
that's
was
true.
pretty epic, and like that whole thing right up, like that was the part I remembered and like called out the line right before she said it, where she's like, "But I'm smarter than a beaver," and I was like, "Hell yeah, that is so
Yeah,
cool!"
that was cool. That was cool.
Yeah, because like the whole time, like we're like her brother, we're just like, "Damn, like you really about to just chop your arm off for this? Like, chill."
Yeah. Okay, so that's the spiritual successor to the handshake.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah,
All right, I like
the
it.
Yeah,
I like it. Again, a great evolution of the concept.
it is. Like it's a remix of the past.
Yeah, I'm into it.
Yeah.
I love it. Any final thoughts?
Um. Yeah, I can't wait to see what Dan Trachtenberg does next. I can't wait to see what Amber Midthunder does next. I can't wait to see what a lot of these people do next because this movie is a really high watermark in like the 2020s like filmography. I think.
Agreed. Agreed. Yeah. Echo the same thing that you're saying. Very excited to see where this franchise goes next too. If they're going to keep on Trachtenberg to do something different, or what they're going to try to do next. Like I don't know, different era, different things.
Predator and Mad Max, dude. They just need to do it.
Predator and Mad Max. You know what else I think about, like the Predators, the one I think you watched it where they like take the people to their home planet, or to the game planet.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think about that movie a lot, Khalid, about how it just wasted a potential that I think there was a lot more to. Like I know that there's like this element of the Predator franchise where they don't want to muddy the waters with like, oh, all sorts of different aliens and make it like Star Trekky or Star Warsy, But like I feel like there's a missed opportunity to like go when you're going off world to an alien planet. Like I want to see the Predator like take on something else that's like not like the xenomorph, but like just like something else. Like if they're on a game planet and they're hunting humans and other big prey, like I think we see like a brief glimpse of another alien in that one, but like give me more interesting aliens and like how like what's their solutions for fighting it. Like that's something I would like to see if they're going to go the future route.
What about
Otherwise, like
like
I'd also like to see more like I don't know, different like Earth cultures in different areas of the world too, like their style of fighting, how that would reflect in the Predator too.
what about
I
like
don't
a
know.
World War Predator kind of a thing where like Earth is like aware of them now, but like we're very easily the underdogs in this to the point where like we're basically just like insurgents and we're
So it's
just
not
like
just being hunted, like we're actually like at legit war with them now. So like
exactly
we're
like a
fighting their
legit
military.
war and it's like maybe we follow like a small like basically a terrorist cell that's like their mission is to like infiltrate the planet and like blow up like one of their biggest places or something.
That would be fascinating. Yeah,
Yeah.
like that's what we want to. That's what I think we all want to see. Want to see like evolutions of the concept. Like that's what I feel like the sequels, unfortunately, have been doing so long. Is like let's just do it again, but now it's in the city. Now it's here. Now it's in the jungle again. Like they just keep doing it. This movie was an evolution of the concept. Like what could they do next? So there's a lot of potential there.
Yeah, no. I think they got a lot of ways to go with it. Even if they just went the simple route of like just jumping from time to time
Yeah,
and like because that's the truth is like yeah, I think I saw something pitched like a samurai predator would
yeah,
be
yeah. I saw
cool.
that too.
Like yeah, that would be amazing. And it's like it's already just baked into the concept that it'll be a completely different movie just by virtue of doing something that like dramatic of a change.
Hmm. Yeah, just like a different like how cultures look at something that's like what they would see as impossible. You know?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be so
that's
cool.
fascinating. I'd love to see more of that.
Yeah. Oh man, just like what if there's just like one good old boy predator that like helped us in World War II? He's just
Yeah,
running up Normandy Beach, just like or is it yeah, the beach is in Normandy, yeah. And
yeah.
it's just the Saving Private Ryan scene, but now there's just like a predator there.
Like he comes here for like a hunt and then realizes there's a big war. He's like, I just want to do this.
Yeah, and he's just like herding people off of U-boats, just like, let's get those Jerry's boys.
I'd watch that movie too. I'd watch that one too.
I
Yeah,
mean, yeah, they got options, is what I'm getting
yeah.
at.
They got directions to go. Anyway, we should move to our final segment of the show, Khalid. The last segment of Frankenstein's podcast is a segment we like to call "What the Fandom." And in the What the Fandom segment, we each share something or some things that we are interested into watching, reading, listening to, playing perhaps. And if it's a game, we haven't done a game for a while. That doesn't mean I have a game. I don't. But just something that we think that you guys might be interested or might dig, may or may not have anything to do with the movie or monsters. So anyway, Khalid, what the fandom with you this week?
Thanks for asking, Joe. My What the Fandom this week is going to be an album that I've been hitting you up about a little regularly lately. It's this band called Say She She,
Hmm.
and their debut album actually just dropped this week. It's called Prism, and I think they have a couple other songs that aren't on the album that you can check out, but they're just amazing. Like they're so delightful to hear. I really like the song Prism, also named after the album. That might be my favorite so far. But like, if you're really just looking for like a vibey, like groovy sound and just like something new to add to your playlist, I would say check them out. Like, I'm excited. I'm gonna go see them in San Francisco in a month,
Yeah.
and just it's been really just like fun to come back to the album and really get lost in the soundscapes, because like these girls are really talented, and I feel like I don't know anything about like the music industry now. Like, for all I know, they're already way bigger than I even realized, and I'm telling you all stuff you know. But if they haven't blown up yet, I feel like they're due to blow up, because they've just got like a really cool, catchy vibe that I think is just, it's very needed nowadays in our landscape. It's just good music. So
Would
that
you kind
is,
of describe it as like modern chill disco?
I think I said it was like if modern chill disco, like elevator music was like a thing.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. It's good.
Yeah, yeah, it's really good. Like you'd be lucky to have this playing in an elevator. You wouldn't get off. Like you just ride that thing up and down all day. So yeah, that is my what the fandom. I'm gonna keep it nice and lean, lest somebody has something to say.
Damn,
Um,
only one.
yeah, yeah, Joe. Anyways, Joe, what the fandom with you?
Thanks for asking, Khalid. I am going the book route this week. I just finished the second book in a series. Actually, it's just a duology, so I finished it. But I recommended the first book many episodes ago. The book is called The Wonder Engine, and it's the second book in the Clock Tower War series. The first book was called the Clockwork Boys. But basically, the premise of the story is that there's a two cities. It's like a fantasy world that are at war. One city has these like mechanical creatures that are kind of like giant centaurs that like have gears and shifts, and they go, there's like this rampaging machines. So they're just winning the war. So the one government that's losing enlists some people who are kind of disgraced. Like they get a paladin who's was arrested for being possessed by a demon, a convicted forger, an assassin, and then a monk who's traveling with them to locate another missing monk. And then they also come along like some interesting creatures along the way. And they're going to this other town to try to figure out the secret of these clock tar boys, or these clockwork boys, and what they are. But I just finished book 2, and it's a really breezy kind of read. Like sometimes fantasy can be really long winded and really like, like full of itself sometimes, and it's like world building, which I'm all about world building. That's not a complaint. But this is a really breezy kind of read with a really like conversational style of writing, which is it's fun. It's fun for me because like the dialogue just feels really fast and relatable, and the author also does horror novels, which I've liked it. The author is T. Kingfisher, and I've liked some of her horror books too. And I feel like she infuses some of like her horror sensibilities into this, but she always has this like tone that's almost like casual, which is like this sounds counterintuitive, but like the casual tone infused with like the horror and the weird elements kind of comes together in a way that like I just like that interaction, and it almost feels like how people would react to like horrific things, where you sometimes respond with humor, or you sometimes are just like, I'm so like unsure of how to handle this situation right now, so you do
Is
silly
this kind
things.
of like Jordan Peele does it, or?
In a sense, almost like I don't know if I'd compare her to Jordan Peele, but like I just feel like her take on depicting like horror like within a fantasy realm is really cool and unique, and I'm enjoying it. So all of that to say, like it's a cool story with some really like weird concepts and fun concepts, characters that I thought like I really got to know and like really enjoyed. So I would highly recommend the series. So the Wonder Engine was book 2, Clockwork Boys was book 1, but the series itself is called the Clock Tower War by T. Kingfisher, which is actually a pseudonym for Ursula Vernon, who writes lots of kids books also, which are pretty fun to read too. So I would highly recommend that. I do have a second small What the Fandom, and it doesn't really need it. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. Well, I've been doing more because I thought that's what we're all doing now, Khalid.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, greedy Joe, with your extra helping of recommendations. I'm just kidding. You can go ahead.
You did 3 last time.
You know what, Joe? This
Yeah.
is my moment to chastise you. I specifically did 1 this week just so I could have this moment if it were to arise.
It's fair. It's fair. But
So,
my last one was sweet. So I'm saying it's a cool book, recommended. My second one, I just wanted to shout out because I'm excited that it's back. It doesn't really need any recommendations, but definitely go watch season 2 of Abbott Elementary. It's like 3 episodes in. I'm loving it. I feel like I've mentioned on this podcast before, like how stressful this year is as a teacher, and the last several years, and I feel like that show, even though some of the situations seem absurd, is actually very realistic, and sometimes almost too realistic. Like there's one of the characters was sprung upon at the beginning of the year saying, you're actually going to have 2 classes that you're teaching by yourself, and I'm like, that happened to me this year. They're like, you're actually going to combine the 2 classes into your room, so instead of a smaller group you have 30, and that's very true. So anyway, great show. It makes me feel better about working sometimes, because I'm like, oh, they get it. Somebody gets it.
Well, if you're Tariq Hive like I am, and you're just waiting for the incomparable Zach Fox to come back into the show, I feel you. But I will say that until he does get back, the rest of the show is stellar. The cast is in
Yes.
fine form. But again, bring Tariq back.
Bring Tariq back.
We need more of his music more than anything else. You know what I mean? Like, what are these kids learning if not like how to punch people in the face for offering them drugs?
Right. Yeah. Bring him back.
Please.
And
But
go watch the show. Great show.
Yes, totally worth the second recommendation, Joe. No jokes. Like, great. I love that show. I totally back you on it.
Yeah. So
all right.
anyway,
so that's your what the fandom this week, folks. We got the album Prism by Say She. We got the Clock Tower Wars, and we have Abbott Elementary. So you got a lot to dig into. And thank you, as always, for listening to another fun discussion with me and Joe on Frankenstein's podcast. Until next time, creep it easy.